on that one.
You used to be able to do this,
Probably.
Well, at one point.
It's been a little while. I'm gonna squeeze past you.
So that was it. Go for a little while longer. Break free.
All right. So just remember, Belle. I'll do the first one, verse 1, verse 2. We'll do this together, and then you do verse 3, and then you'll sing lead on there. I'll do this, and then you that. Okay. And then the next song is what? Bread and wine, right? Okay. Oh my gosh. How do you see that?
Because I'm good like
You
that.
can read that?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's like so tiny.
Here's the thing. What's funny is that I really don't need this because I could read yours.
I know, you're probably easier seeing that than mine, or than your own.
But I just feel weird about like, I mean, I'll probably look at yours every once in a while, but.
Whatever you feel good about.
Hey, Clippy. Just so you know, I can't super clear, which is fine, but I'm doing my best, just so you know.
Once we get going, stand out here a little bit more so you can hear.
Yeah, it's not.
Actually,
I just want
Jules-
you to know I'm doing my best.
You need to stand right there.
I know you always are.
Just want you to
Stand
know.
in the middle.
Yes. Can I stand
Yeah,
right there?
you should stand right in the middle.
Not cool.
What are you saying?
It was right there, wasn't it?
I thought,
Maybe Kenny grabbed it?
no, I thought Kenny had it.
Maybe. Maybe it just feet. I stepped over it just a second ago.
I did too.
Someone might have really known.
So she'll come up and announce stuff before we actually start.
Yeah. Actually, I don't care if I do. That's the secret.
Yes, will you play to me? Oh my gosh.
That's the secret, is not really actually caring.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got
Actually, I had that thought this morning. You just needed brushes. Oh, I thought you would say like brushes on it, because that sounds cool too.
What if in front you did your interpretive dances? Is that enough room though?
I think you should just sit. You should just stand there and like dance.
Yeah.
Like, Cole's not gonna play his drums today, but he's gonna stand up here with us.
And you just no. And Cove just stands right there the entire time. It's just
He stands like right in the middle awkwardly.
this is what you need to do.
That's a good idea.
Cove, you need to have your hands like, and then you just need to be like,
And you can flip our screens when it goes to the next
Yeah, yeah.
song. You can do.
Say what? It is? I have it muted right now.
So we should stop our shenanigans.
stop the shenanigans.
It is live because the aux channel is live. Yeah, got it. Okay.
But good to know.
That's good to know.
Just thank you.
So, Cove, the mic is live, just so you know.
It's on
Like everyone can hear it.
Good boy.
Do we get the couch? Do we get the couch?
Nobody takes it.
Huh?
Nobody takes it.
I'm not paying.
I'll sit there.
Although,
empty spot. I might even just like sit over here or something, so I'm kind of close.
Just to let you know, we'll be starting soon, but this mic is hot, so everyone on live stream is hearing everything you say. So.
Hold that for 1 second. And it's kind of. Oh, you got it? You got it? Oh, sweet. I love that. That'd be great. This is what I've dreamed of. This church, you know what I mean? Sitting on the floor. This is my ideas for years ago. How we should be doing it. So great.
My stream just froze. Should I wait? All right, I'm very short. Can you guys hear me? Awesome. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my house. This is so awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I already told Rebecca, our live stream virtual greeter, that we are recording all of this, so if we do have any internet issues, it will be recorded and reposted. This is Forefront Church. I think everyone in the house here has been to Forefront before, but if not, welcome to Forefront Church. We normally meet at Roulette, the concert venue, but today we decided to do a house church and use our lovely basement here. So, like a very cozy service. Forefront is an LGBTQIA affirming and inclusive church. We are actively anti-racist. We believe in a progressive Christian values here and like to ask a lot of questions and have a lot of conversations together, trying to find the best way forward together. We are an interdenominational Christian church following the progressive values given to us through Jesus. This is my dog, Tilly, who is normally in her service dog year, but because this is her house, I decided to let her be off duty today. So if she comes up to you, you can totally pet her and say hi. She's just sniffing around and likes to have a lot of people here. We have awesome guests here today. I'll let them introduce themselves, but please make yourself comfortable. There's a bathroom off over around the corner over here. Coffee, bagels, tea. Make yourself comfortable, and let's have an awesome worship service.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is so great. I love it. I tell all that church, we live in Indiana, and I do music at a church there, and all the time I think we should be closer. We should be sitting on pillows. We should be in a house. This is exactly how I envisioned it. So this is beautiful. What I usually say with the worship music is, I just feel allow the Spirit to sort of move your heart. Some people are expressive in their worship. Some people are more inward, and I always just say whatever, as long as, you find yourself engaging, whatever that needs is, I just invite you to do that. So, do we want to stand? Can we? No? Stand or sit, whatever you like. Now, these might be some new songs. I don't know. We'll find out. Honey in the rock, water in the stone, manna on the ground, no matter where I go. I don't need to worry now that I know everything I need you got. Honey in the rock. Praying for a miracle, thirsty for the living well. Only you can satisfy. Sweetness in the mercy seat, I've tasted, it's not hard to see. Only you can satisfy. There's honey in the rock. There's honey in the rock. There's honey in the rock. Keep looking, I keep finding. You keep giving, keep providing. I have all that I need. You are all that I need. I keep praying, you keep moving. I keep praising, you keep proving. I have all that I need. You are all that I need. I keep looking, I keep finding. You keep giving, keep providing.
I am all that I need. You are all that I need.
I keep praying, you keep moving. I keep praising, you keep proving.
I am all that I need. You are all that I need. I am all that I need. You are all that I need.
Yeah. Water in the stone, manna on the ground, no matter where I go.
I don't need to worry now that I know everything I need you got.
A rock, purpose in your plan, power in your blood, healing in your hand.
Started flowing when you said it is done. Everything you did seemed done.
In the rock,
Honey in the rock.
honey in the rock.
Sorry, one quick announcement. If you have connected to our guest Wi-Fi, could you disconnect on your phone? We're having a little bit of too many people are on the system, so the live stream's having a challenge. And if you don't need the Wi-Fi during service right now, that would be great. Thank you.
Are we hearing okay? Everybody got everything? Everything sound good? Okay. So we were picking some of these songs, and I don't know if you guys know all these songs. Is that a familiar song? Does it feel somewhat familiar? Okay. This is another one that I really love. And I was having this experience this morning. I just want to share just a little bit. As I was getting ready, so I'll give you a little background. So I'm Cliff. This is my daughter, Bella. This is my wife, Jules. And that's my son, Cove, who typically plays full-out rock and roll drums with us, okay? And And you know, unfortunately he didn't get to bring his kit today, but I'm sure it would have sounded amazing in this little room. But we come from this little teeny tiny town. I was talking to some people this morning, and I mean, I think literally maybe our town has the number of people that are on this one street. I mean, it's very small. I make jokes all the time. If you blink twice as you're driving through our town, you've missed it. Yeah. We have 0 stoplights, and we've got a guy who makes pizza out of his garage. And, oh, you do? Oh, yeah. Wait, is his name Stinny? Does he smoke and drink while he does it? Okay. Because ours does. Anyways, but it's great pizza. But, you know, so that's kind of this tiny town that we live in. And, you know, as we were coming in, obviously, over the bridge, and the sun was setting last night, and just the beauty of the city, and we got to see the Statue of Liberty kind of as we were driving, and we're coming to this beautiful neighborhood, and it was just hitting me this morning how beautiful it is that, like, you know, in spite of, like, what, you know, when I walk out, I see cornfields, and I see, you know, all this land, and when you guys walk out, you see your neighbors and the city, and it's just amazing to me that we can be brought together for one singular purpose, and to be a part of the Spirit, and to be celebrating what Jesus Christ did, and I just love that, and I was struck by it this morning, and I just feel very grateful to be here with you guys. And this song is called "Love Come In," and I love this one because he says, I'm sorry, there's one specific one that I want to speak. Whisper to this heart, where is it? Yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah, it's the second line, not the fourth or fifth. I usually start from top to bottom. I do not. But yeah, he says, the writer says, whisper to this heart, let me feel your embrace. And I love those lyrics because it's not a hit me over the head, you know, it's not like throw me down. It's more of a, okay, right now, God, I'm in a place where I need you to just like whisper to me because I can't hear it any other way. And I just, that's a lyric that really sticks out to me. Wrap me in your arms, clothe me with your grace, whisper to this heart, let me feel your embrace, break the bread and wine, lead me to the place, a garden of your love, open wide the gate, let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul again. Let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul again. Speak your words of life, take my breath away, light me in your course, I will not delay. Let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul again. Let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul again. Let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul.
Let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul again. Show me the heights, show me the depths, show me the widths and the lengths of your love. Show me the heights, show me the depths, show me the widths and the lengths of your love. 'Cause where there is love, there is no room for fear. Where there is hope, all my doubts disappear. Where there is faith, the mountains are cast away. Where there is love, all things are beautiful. Where there is love, there is no room for fear. Where there is hope, all my doubts disappear. Where there is faith, the mountains are cast away. Where there is love, all things are beautiful. Let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul again. Let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul again. Let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul again. Let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul again. Maybe just one more for me. Let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul again. Let your love come in like a rushing wind, saturate my heart and soul again. I'm gonna check the mandolin. Are you unmuted? My beautiful wife. I was like, I know she's playing something real good. This is just a good one.
Love is patient, love is kind. It has no arrogance or pride. It speaks the good
real quick before we move on. I want to sing this one more, and I was struck by this. I was singing this one a couple weeks ago, and I was struck again with this. I love that this message is very simple. It feels to me how my mother maybe would have said it to me, right? And so what I started doing when I was singing this one, I was just imagining my mom, you know, kind of sitting there and even thinking about Jesus saying these words to us in such simple ways, almost like we were little kids. And the thing that I was struck by is when I was hearing this song, I felt like I was just like this little kid learning this lesson because it's so simple but so beautiful. So what I did was I just sort of imagined myself being this little kid, and whoever that person for you, that safe, that beautiful person that would say these words to you, maybe you just kind of put them in your mind, maybe kind of visualize them as you sing this song, and just see what the song feels like for you. Let's do just the first verse and the chorus again.
Love is patient, love is kind. It has no arrogance or pride. It seeks the good of others first. Keeps no record of wrong or hurt. It finds no joy in wickedness, but rejoices in the truth. Through it all it will endure. Love will never fail. Love will never, never fail. Love will never, never fail. Love will never, never fail. Love will never fail.
Thank you for being here this morning and leading us in music. Can we thank them? Thank you. And Benny, thank you for introducing us to your friends. I just felt like I was just sitting in the spirit of a lullaby and just like beautiful words being washed over me and bringing peace to my soul. So hopefully you all felt that way this morning. Thank you for blessing us. So we are going to have our kids go on down to kids stuff, and they are going to go right this way out that door to the backyard. So kids, what's the song that we sing? Let's go down to kids stuff. Let's go down to kids stuff. Let's go down to kids stuff to sing and dance and pray. All right, woo! All right, kiddos, you guys can head right out those doors. There's a lot of fun waiting for you right out there. Right through those doors. Awesome. And then for the rest of us who are in this space, as some of you are just arriving, just so you know, if you need to use a restroom at any point, it's right behind this wall right here. So if you need that, also there's coffee and bagels and things. I'm going to invite folks to sort of get up and move around the space and introduce themselves to somebody that they don't know and ask someone else this particular question as an opportunity to get to know folks this morning. So ask somebody, when you are lost or confused about directions, do you try to ask questions or do you try to figure it all out on your own? So find somebody around you, ask that question, maybe grab a coffee and bagel, use the restroom, and we'll come back together in a few moments. Okay, friends, I hope that you've gotten to make a new friend or gotten to know someone a little bit more. We'll be able to continue these conversations afterwards. Invite folks to start making their way back to their seats. We're going to go ahead and get started with service here in just a few seconds. Yeah, totally. All right, folks who are in the kitchen, if you want to make your way back into the main space, there's some chairs over here, some more chairs open over here. Folks in the kitchen,
this is the voice of your pastor speaking. Please make your way back to the space. We will begin shortly.
All right, so we're going to just quickly go through a few announcements, the things that are happening here around church, so maybe pique up your interest or take notes or whatever, if these are some things that maybe interest you. So there will be a sit-in to end fossil fuel on October 18th from 12 to 1, and Amanda is here. Can you just wave your hand? Yes, right there. Amanda is organizing and coordinating that, and so if you go and click this or scan this URL or go to forefrontnyc.com/calendar. You can get all the information about where folks are meeting up, what that looks like. If you need to get in contact with Amanda, her email's there, her picture's there, so that you know who you're looking for when you get to the intersection. So we encourage folks to go and be a part of that and to be an active part of change, not just here in New York City, but globally as we face a climate crisis and the need to put pressure on those who are in power. And then the second thing I want to talk with you all about is the Forefront is having 2 different Halloween parties. One is for our kids' stuff, and they're going to be gathering together at a petting zoo type thing that's right down the street from our church. Someone in our congregation has opened up that space. They run that space, and they're going to allow us to be in there to enjoy what they do for free. And so our kids are going to get to be able to enjoy company with one another as well as the Halloween party and get to see these lovely animals. Is that what it would be called? Is it like a petting zoo? What is it? Like how would you describe that? Yeah, okay, good. Make sure I said that right. And then if you're an adult, we encourage you to come to the grown-up Halloween party. There will not be animals here to pet. Is Tilly coming? That's about the only option. Yes, I think maybe. So this will be a grown-up Halloween party, and that'll be on 10/27. We encourage you to scan this QR code. We do need you to register because obviously there are limited spaces when these are in people's homes. We can only fit so many people, hence today, right? So we encourage you to come and be a part of that and to just find community together. I know sometimes folks say that they're coming to Forefront to find community, right? This is how you find community. You show up to things like this, and you introduce yourselves, and people introduce themselves to you, and you grow in relationship and connection. So take advantage of these opportunities. Is it a costume party, Kyle? Yeah, wear costumes. So cool. What's that? As animals, animal costumes, yes. No petting allowed. Okay. Different group. Yep. I could make a joke. I won't. I'm going to move on. The next thing I wanted to highlight as well is the Manhattan and Flatbush small group. These are 2 new small groups that are happening in different neighborhoods. Flatbush, you're in it, and this house is where that Flatbush small group is happening. Pastor Mac is hosting that with Diana. So if you're interested in being a part of that, if you found it really easy to get to this house today, maybe this is the small group for you. We encourage you to... Yeah. Minus the Q and all of her problems. Okay, so the other thing is save the date for our town hall. So this is something that's going to be coming up at the end of the month. As you remember, we had a town hall at the beginning of the year, and this was a time for us to just sort of update you on where the church was at with our finances and where we were wanting to go, things we were wanting to do. The year is wrapping up, if it's hard to believe. It's only a few months left. We want to be able to just kind of update you on where we are, both from our finances to our vision to our survey results, all of these different things as we enter into next year, as well as, of course, open space if folks have questions or things they want to talk about. So we hope that you'll make it a priority to stay after church on 10/29 and to be a part of this conversation in Town Hall. Okay, with all of that, I'm going to invite Megan to come forward, and Megan's going to share with you all a little bit about why she gives to Forefront.
Good morning. This Friday, guess what happened 10 years ago? I walked into the roulette for the very first time and joined Forefront. Yeah, I was church hunting, shopping, whatever you call it, and I walked in and I never left. I was amazed by how friendly, warm, kind, and how everyone had its open arms. I never had a church like that, so I stayed. I never left the roulette, pretty much. And not only did I stay, but I jumped right in giving back right away when I joined the hospitality team within less than a month. Later on, I'll go on to be the co-leader of the hospitality team. I hear it's coming back, thank God. Yeah, so it's been quite a journey these past 10 years. I've seen Forefront itself go through a lot, so much in the last 10 years. But also for me personally, it was pretty much a big deal. And some things have always remained the same with Forefront. The flexible faith journey it gives to everybody, open arms and a sense of community throughout. And I will give back through hospitality and also helping out with other teams whenever they need it. And if I ever had the money to help out, I also helped out. I'm glad Forefront didn't say you must give 10% or else. Yeah. I have to admit, though, there were some times that were not very easy for me. For those of you who do not know, I have bipolar 1 disorder. And there were times when I had some episodes that acted up and made me, you could say, act in a way that was bizarre and maybe erratic. And not everybody fully understood what was going on, which made me at times doubt Forefront. But the truth is, I decided to suck it out because, let's face it, not everybody really understands mental illness very well. And not everyone knew exactly what was going on with me. No one knew what was going through my head, and they wouldn't want to know. And so to be fair, stick it out and educate people on what mental illness is. It's not fun, and it's not something I recommend to I wouldn't wish on anyone. Yeah, but I stuck it out, and there were times, and I'm still here 10 years later. Forefront has helped me with some some financial issues, mostly when it comes to moving and rent, like everybody else. And I try my best to give back when I can financially, and I am still giving back. I'm a member of Kid Stuff these days, and I will continue to give back because Forefront has given me so much this past decade, and I'm sure for next decade. Thank you.
Thanks, Megan, for sharing and for being vulnerable. We're all better and stronger because of it. So I'm going to invite folks to remain seating so that you can still see the screen, but we're going to do our liturgy together. So I'll read the first part, you'll read the second half. For those of you who are watching online, sorry, we've had some connection issues. We just want you to know we are recording the service from its entirety, so we can always go back and we can post and share that later if you've had any connection issues this morning. But we're glad that you're joining us remotely, mostly, I think, via YouTube at this point. Facebook's not working super great. All right, so I'll read the first part, and then all together we'll read this part that's in white and black. Through prayer, we find solace and strength, a sanctuary of peace amidst life's storms. Let us reflect on how prayer shapes our inner being. We open our hearts to transformation. Through prayer, our minds are enlightened and our perspectives shift. Let us contemplate the ways in which prayer alters our thoughts and perceptions. We open our minds to transformation. Through prayer, our steps are ordered and our journeys redirected. Let us consider how prayer leads us along a new and purposeful path. We open our hearts to transformation. Through prayer, the air we breathe is infused with love. Let us reflect on how prayer changes the atmosphere around us and brings forth a spirit of love and grace. We open the atmosphere to transformation. May we have hearts open to change, minds attuned to wisdom, paths illuminated by purpose, and an atmosphere filled with love. May the power of prayer be ever present in our lives. Amen. We're in the third week of our series on prayer, and so this week, Reverend Venida is going to share with us about how prayer changes our path. So would you welcome my fellow co-pastor, Reverend Venida Rodman Jenkins.
Good day, Forefront Home Church. It's a blessing to be here. Thank you so much, Pastor Mac and Diana, for opening up your home. It's so beautiful to be here in this space. Thank you so much to our guests. Worship has been phenomenal. And it's such a blessing to have you with us today. So we're continuing our prayer series. My name is Reverend Venida. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm one of the co-pastors of Teaching and Community. And it's a joy to be able to continue this series as we think about prayer changing our path. And I began to reflect upon prayer in my life. And I thought about how many times we opened with prayer in one of the churches that I used to belong to. And whether it was before church, because after Sunday school we would have prayer, or after church when we would have the altar call after the sermon, sometimes you would hear whoever was preaching start off the prayer with, "My soul says yes, 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 yes." And then sometimes we'd say, "I love you, Lord. I 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 love you, Lord." So as we open today, I'd invite you to think about the many opportunities that you were exposed to prayer as you were coming up. Do you remember learning some prayers that you had to memorize? Maybe the Lord's Prayer. If you went to a Catholic church like I did, maybe the Hail Mary and the Our Father. Maybe you were used to praying before meals. What about before you went to bed? What about before you went on trips? Well, if you were like me and in my church, we would have prayer all night, and they were called the prayer warriors. And we'd be praying on our knees throughout the night, praying for the needs of the church, the community, families. My life has been filled with prayer. In my home, my mother would lead us in prayer before school, and for many times in our life, going away to college, all sorts of opportunities for prayer. And then I prayed at school because I went to a Catholic school, and of course at church. So I wanted to open up and get us to sort of think about the many ways that you have been introduced to prayer. I'm still trying to figure out prayer after all these years, right? And that's what we're doing during this prayer series. We are still exploring prayer, right? We are a church of curiosity. We like to wonder, we like to ask questions, and we're inviting you to continue to do that as we move forward with this prayer series. Prayer can be seen as expansive, without limitations, mystical, mysterious, and chill. I believe prayer to be a powerful tool that is able to help ground us and connect us with God, with ourselves, and with each other. Prayer can also be found in nature. I remember during the COVID shutdown, we have a nature center near our home, and just having the opportunity to take walks and be in the midst of nature was a very powerful and restorative experience. It really did something for our emotional and mental health to be able to pray in nature during the COVID shutdown. Prayer can be in the form of a conversation, a thought, a breath, movement. Prayer is connection, liberation, and depending on the context, can be very inviting or sometimes very intimidating. It's practiced, as we know, across many religions and spiritualities across the globe. Here in the U.S., we spend less time in houses of worship than we once did, but still regularly try to connect with the divine, according to new research related to religion and spiritual habits. Now, this survey that we have up here is conducted by the Radiant Foundation earlier this year on the National Day of Prayer in May, and it showed that 85% of Americans participate in some kind of spiritual practice, with the most common being prayer. More than 6 in 10 survey respondents, that's 61%, said they pray, while 39% say they practice meditation. Millennials, how many millennials do we have in the house? Well, certainly at forefront. And members of Gen Z were more likely than older adults to meditate or engage in other mindfulness practices. Skylight survey also found that respondents were nearly as likely to pray out in nature, as we just mentioned, 43%, as they were to pray in their houses of worship. Now, when Jesus performed his miracle of feeding the 5,000, they were on the grass. They were in nature. And he offered a prayer of thanksgiving before breaking the bread and before feeding the crowd. Another example of Jesus praying in nature can be found in Matthew 14 and 23. And when he had sent the multitude away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. Whether it's praying to express gratitude or for a loved one in crisis or someone who is sick or someone seeking employment, many of us pray in a variety of spaces and places for a host of reasons. Many times we are seeking guidance, solace, enlightenment, comfort, peace, and trust, like David in Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The late John O. Donahue, author of Eternal Echoes. It was a book that Phil Dickens, one of our leadership team members, shared with Josh and I. Phil's great for giving you books. I love that about Phil. But anyway, the book is called Eternal Echoes, Celtic Reflections on Our Yearning to Belong, writes, one of the most tender images is the human person at prayer. When the body gathers itself before the divine, a stillness deepens. The blaring din of distraction ceases, and the deeper tranquility within the heart envelops the body. To see people at prayer is a touching sight. Amen? How many people have ever heard the PUSH acronym as it relates to prayer? PUSH. P-U-S-H. D. Pray until, for our virtual community, PUSH. Pray until something happens. Now, this is an interesting acronym, right? And to be honest, if we think about many examples in the Bible, the idea is that all we need to do is push, pray until something happens, and we'll be good. Now, Hannah in the Bible, who wanted to have a child, she wasn't able to, and she prayed and she prayed, and she was able to conceive. And her son, Samuel, was one of the greatest prophets in the Bible, right? She pushed, she prayed until something happened. Jairus, who was a religious leader, asked for prayer for the healing of his daughter. And Jesus came, healed Jairus' daughter, and he prayed until something happened. And there are other examples of praying, right? I'm sure many of you have many examples where you put something before the Lord, you asked your friends to pray with you, to join you in prayer, and then the opportunity opened. You were praying for healing and you no longer were sick. You were praying for a job opportunity, you got a job, and you felt that it was a blessing, and it is a blessing when prayer is answered and when things that you have been praying about come to fruition and materialize is phenomenal. But how many of us have had the experience where we have prayed for peace and we are still anxious and stressed? How many of us have prayed for healing and the healing has not come? How many of us have prayed for relationships to be reconciled and there is still no reconciliation? We have attempted to push and nothing has happened. And that can be disheartening and disorienting, and many times can actually cause people to lose hope and to lose faith. What if prayer, like many of us have been taught, is not so simple as this conditional type of exercise? And if you do this, then God will do this. Maybe it's much more deeper than that. Maybe it's much more expansive than that. What if God is calling us into her presence to simply be connected and be at peace and know that no matter what happens, we can trust in God? What if prayer changes the path that we are on, the journey that we are prioritizing, to a shift in perspective and purpose, giving us renewed hope? Reverend Jackie Lewis, author, activist, pastor of Middle Church, says these words: "We are not powerful enough to control God with our prayers, but we are loved enough for God to treat us as a partner in this life." Imagine us putting our faith and trust in God to the point where we can simply trust and believe that God is treating us as a friend and as a partner on this journey we call life. You know, I adore looking at parents who have small children, and they'll be taking a walk even in my either in my building, or I live near a rail station and they'll be walking in the train station. And there are many times when the parents just let the child walk on whatever path and journey they want to. Now, the child knows that the parent is near and close in view, but the parent allows that child to wander. But then, when the child continues to go the wrong way, what the parent does is hold on to the child and redirects the child's path so that the child doesn't get hurt in attempting to go the wrong way. The child looks up and sees that they are comfortable and safe in their parents, with their parent, holding their parent's hand, and they continue to journey on. And I feel that that's the way it is with God. Now, God is always with us no matter what path we choose, but sometimes we're prioritizing things and God might have something else for us, a way that we can continue to strengthen our faith, maybe in a slightly different path. Maybe God wants us to see something a slightly different way, and then we look up through prayer and see God beckoning us and calling us to a different space and place that we may have never even dreamed of. When I think about my life as someone who is heterosexual, someone who grew up in very conservative faith-based spaces, I think about how I have come to be a co-pastor at an affirming church. And when I think about the journey, I get joy in the journey. But I think about many of the times when I was not affirming and how I continued to pray for God to open up my heart, to help me to understand, because I felt like I had so many closeted friends, so many people who were worshiping in the same spaces where I was. And I felt that some of their talents and some of their gifts were being exploited because they couldn't be their full, authentic self. And that would trouble me, and that would cause me concern. And I prayed and I just asked God to continue to open up my mind and just help me understand and help me continue to love. And while I was going one way and prioritizing certain things as it related to my church experience, God led me through being connected with people in the queer community who were out and who were open and who were still connecting with God. It helped me to open myself up so that I could be an ally for this community, so that I could think critically about the type of churches that I wanted to work in and worship in. Would it be a church where people really couldn't be free to be who they are in all of their identities? Or would it be a space such as Forefront, such as so many other churches that are affirming? And I thank God that I'm in the space that I am in now, and that we are here and we can all worship with all that God has created us to be. Amen. We today can think about how our steps have been ordered by the Lord. Psalm 37:23 says, "A person's steps are established by the Lord, and he takes pleasure in his way." This sounds like a partner taking pleasure in our steps. Gospel artist Fred Hammond wrote these words. He used to sing with a group called Commission back in the day, and then he went out on his own. And he wrote a song called Ordered. And it says, "When my faith is challenged and my vision is obscured, when I'm hanging on by a thread and my footing unsure, I look to the Spirit for one word to help me endure. And that word is ordered." And for me, that simply means being directed by God, even through disappointment and lack of clarity, knowing that God is partnering with us in this life as we continue to live the abundant life through Christ. And I'll be honest, as I opened up my life to more inclusivity and as my path began to change, it became a whole new world, and it was refreshing and it was liberating. However, it was painful because the same friends who were on the other path weren't on my new path. When it was time to pivot, they were not willing to pivot with me. So I thank God for opening up the door for more friends and more connections and different experiences. And God truly is at work all around us, and we are to continue to join God in her work on this journey of whatever new path we might be on. My former pastor, Nancy Butler, passed away some years ago from ALS, and Nancy was amazing, and I speak about her quite a bit. She started Riverfront Family Church in Hartford, Connecticut, and while many people were praying for her healing, myself included, Nancy told people that if they wanted to pray for her healing, that was perfectly fine. She knew that she served a big God, and God was able to heal her. However, that really wasn't her path. Her prayers really weren't necessarily for healing. Her prayer was that she would be able to live a full life while she was on this earth. She confronted her ALS. She acknowledged what she had, and she wanted to be able to do certain things in her life so that she would not leave this earth having things undone. So while she invited people to pray for her, she encouraged people to journey with her, essentially as she knew she was dying, as painful as that was. So her path led her to uniquely encourage others through newspaper articles that were in the Hartford Courant. That's the major newspaper there. She would be on NPR, on radio shows, encouraging people. She wrote her biography. And in her last visit to the church, she informed the congregation that she had made the decision to remove her feeding tube. And this was extremely, extremely painful for the congregation. She wasn't bitter or angry. And she said, after considering my situation over and over again, asking God for wisdom, I kept coming to the same conclusion. I am choosing compassion. So I am filled with peace, resolve, and a last-minute surge of energy to pen these words. Nancy caused me to think about a shift in my prayers. I wanted her to live. I wanted her to be healed. However, I also wanted to acknowledge the reality of what was actually happening in her body and the reality that she was dying. This caused a shift in my path where I could try and focus on expressing gratitude for her life and the many ways she was choosing to live her last days. She again expressed her wishes, and she let her congregation know one by one how much she appreciated them. So on her last visit to the church, which was probably maybe within a week of her actual death, she said, "Riverfront, you are one of a kind." Nancy wrote in her final message, "Draw your strength from your prayer and fulfill your calling. I love you more than words can hold." Draw your strength from your prayer and fulfill your calling. And that's what we are to do, whether we think we have 20 more years to live or whether it's in a year of our life or a week of our life. Maybe we are to pray, "Lord, what would you have me to do? Where would you have me to go?" And this will give us a new perspective, which can be considered a new path. Maybe we can allow prayer to transform and shift our path in the most unexpected of ways as we journey on our various paths with Jesus, and where we will always, no matter what, be able to find fulfillment because we are with the Lord. Let us reimagine pushing, praying until something happens on a new and unexpected path as we experience the beauty of change and transformation through prayer. I close with one more story, and it's the story of an experience that I had yesterday. One of my very, very close friends, someone that I've known since sophomore year of high school, lost her dad. We also went to college together. We attended Syracuse together. We lived together sophomore year. And her father passed away last Saturday. And I spoke to her in the week, and I went to see her father and prayed with him a couple weeks ago. And it was the last time I saw him. And, you know, when she was talking about the arrangements, of course I said, "Just let me know what you need me to do." You know, and I'm thinking she's going to tell me, you know, read a scripture or please sing, which is, you know, a common ask. And she said, "Venida, I want you to do the eulogy." And I was touched. I began to cry. I was deeply, deeply moved. And I said, "Thank you so much for asking." She said, "You know my dad." And her dad was someone who was very, very special. And he nicknamed me the Say Hey Kid because I would say hey all the time, which I didn't even know. But the funny thing is, the service was really beautiful, and I was able to highlight the fact that, as many of you know, during COVID, I started Embrace Church online. It was a virtual faith community, and Mr. Heron actually used to come to service. And we actually were able to share a picture of him watching the Zoom at his kitchen table. He was 93 years old. And his daughter, my friend Donna, shared a story. And I closed with Donna's words. She said her dad had Alzheimer's. And she said, you know, when she would put her father to bed, she would help him kneel in prayer. And it was a common practice. He would kneel every night before he would go to bed. And one night she helped him down. He prayed. He got back up. He forgot he prayed. So she helped him down on his knees again. And then after he prayed, he got up and he wanted to go back on his knees. It happened, I don't know, about 3 times or so. And then she was like, Dad, you already prayed. You're good. I got to get you in bed. And afterwards, she said she reflected on that experience. And she said, you know, that wasn't a bad thing after all. She said, what I got from that experience is no matter what, we can never get enough of prayer. And as we go through this prayer series, I would encourage us, even as we're exploring what prayer means to you, what path you might be on, what path God might be calling you to, I want to encourage all of us to just, no matter what, engage with it and know that we can never, no matter what, get enough of prayer. And the people of God said, amen. Amen. So at this time, we want to prepare our hearts and minds for communion. And I invite Cliff to come and join. But I just want to share a few words. First, for our virtual community, whatever you have to share communion, you can do so at this time. Whatever you have, it all honors God. Here in Mac's house, we have small chalices. We have a number of people joining us today for the first time. Whoop, whoop. We have these little chalices with gluten-free wafers, and we have alcohol-free juice so that our children can partake and to be in solidarity with those who are in recovery. So at this time, we will be handing out the communion.
Okay, there's live prayer. In case anybody has any prayer requests online, you can drop them in the chat. And Daniel Jose will pray with anybody in person. Find the yellow hat.
Christ be with me, Christ before me, Christ behind me, Christ within me, Christ below me, Christ above me, Christ be with me. At my right hand, at my left hand, as I lie down, as I rise up, as I stumble, as I fall down, Christ as I stand. Christ in the heart of everyone who thinks of me. Christ in the mouth of everyone who speaks of me. Christ in every eye that sees me, Christ in every ear that hears me. Amen. Amen.
As we receive our elements today that represent the body of Jesus broken for us and the shed blood, let us receive it, understanding that we can have a renewed hope as we choose the path with God leading the way. Let us receive.
Christ be with me, Christ before me, Christ behind me, Christ within me, Christ below me, Christ above me, Christ be with me. At my right hand, at my left hand, as I lie down, as I rise up, as I stumble, as I fall down, Christ, as I stand, Christ in the heart of everyone who thinks of me. Christ in the mouth of everyone who speaks of me. Christ in every eye that sees me, Christ in every ear that hears me. Amen. Amen.
Hello again, everyone. Thank you so much again for just sharing your beautiful music, your beautiful voices. As you can see, if you're in this space, Josh is laying out a table runner, but we're improvising with it. National Coming Out Day is on Wednesday, and we've sort of started a new tradition here at Forefront the past few years where we like to provide space for people to claim their identities if they would like in front of the group. And you can underscore if you want at this point. We typically at the roulette have set up some sort of a doorway that you can walk through to come out. And it's, you know, silly and cheeky, but it's also really beautiful to, for so many of us, I think, at least I can speak for myself growing up, being any kind of queer was not allowed at all, and mentioning it in a church setting was unheard of. And so we like to provide that space here. And so while we don't have a door to walk through, what you can do is come on up to this mic, speak whatever it is that you want to claim to come out to each other, and walk on down the rainbow path that we've created back to your seat. I'll start. I am queer, lesbian, gender fluid is something new in the past year that I've been leaning into and have been really enjoying when people use both she, her pronouns and they, them pronouns for me. And it's something new and exciting that is just a new part of my identity that I like to claim in front of you all.
I joke that it's tradition that I start this off, so I'm going to keep doing it every year until you have me. I'm Daniel Jose. I use he and they pronouns. I am demi/gray/pansexual. I can talk about that at a different time. I'm queer. I'm very, and I'm trans, and I really believe that that is what God has represents. Like, I am the living image of God, and I truly, truly see that more than ever. And yeah, that's my coming out.
morning, everyone. Or afternoon, I don't know what time it is. I'm Lumi. I use they and sometimes he pronouns. I am trans, which is very new to claim and hold that identity. And I'm having gender affirming care at the end of the month, which is very exciting.
Hi everyone, I'm Salima Itoka. I use she, her pronouns. I am on the ace arrow spectrum. Asexual, probably demi-romantic. And actually it was a year today that I walked into Forefront and saw this happen. I wasn't in that space, I just walked in. So to be here a year later to claim all these identities, and to your point around who you are, like God saved me out of Congo and brought me here, there can't be nothing wrong with me. Like I am here, I'm standing here, so thank you.
I go by D. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. I feel like you all know these things already, but I'm asexual and aromantic and trans. But for years, I don't know what trans labels to use. It didn't seem right. I didn't like non-binary. I didn't like gender. I didn't like gender non-conforming. In the last year, I've just settled in. I'm just trans. And I love that it is bigger and bigger and not smaller and smaller. And I'm only getting more and more trans. And gaining more and more of my power.
When the tables bend with only greed and gold, when the grasping hands are afraid you won't provide, will you pour the wine that loosens up my hold? Set your table here with what truly satisfies. Slow me down, slow me down. Oh, good shepherd, oh, good friend, slow me down, slow me down.
Busy streets trying to make myself The work is yours, there is nothing I can do. Lead me home to the pastures of the house is yours, I'm sitting at your feet.
Oh, good shepherd, oh, good friend, slow me down, slow me down. Oh, good shepherd, oh, good friend, slow me down, slow me down, slow me down, slow me down.
We thank you all for worshiping with us today. Special thanks to Cliff and Bella and Jules, and we'll get the drums next time for. Tell me your name again. Cove. So thank you again, Mac, for having us. We're going to have Kinship Cafe virtually with Foxy, Deacon Foxy, and we'll have it here in this space. Thank you, virtual community, for being with us today. And our worship pastor on vacation worshiped with us today. So, hey, Angela. So I think that's it. Any more announcements? Oh, yes. Do you want to talk about that?
So we're gonna play a little concert. So I am a singer-songwriter and write a lot of songs about love, a lot of songs about pain and heartbreak and healing. And so we just kind of, Jules and I sing a little bit. We share our stories some. And I'm gonna be singing some songs. So if you'd like to come back and hear a little bit more of what we do, please join us. We'd love it. It'd be great.
So thank you so much. God bless you. And go in peace to love and serve God.